Okay, girls and boys and everything in between, it's Ace Trinity and back with another episode of Form Fight. Form Fight is a series where we take a look at a Pokemon with more than one form, or a branched evolution, or counterpart Pokemon. We have a look at the differences between those forms and we try and work out which one is the best. And so we can see these different Pokemon on the battlefield in action. We also have a Metronome battle just for a bit of fun. If you're a fan of the Form Fight series and you're ready for more, hit the like button to show your appreciation for this series, and also hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. But with all that out of the way, let's have a look at today's challengers. Today we're going to be comparing the two forms of Meloetta, Aria and Pirouette. At present, Meloetta has only ever been an event Pokemon and can't be found in the wild. When you literally get handed this Pokemon without having to do any side quests or adventuring at all, it'll be in its Aria form. Now if Meloetta uses its signature move Relic Song during a battle, it will transform into Pirouette form. However, it will change back to Aria form once the battle ends, or if Meloetta is switched out or faints, or if it uses Relic Song once again in the same battle. But what makes these two forms of Meloetta so different? Let's take a look. The Pokédex tells us that these two Pokemon share the same height and weight, both standing at 0.6 meters tall and both weighing 6.5 kilograms. They also share a Pokédex entry which tells us the melodies sung by Meloetta have the power to make Pokemon that hear them happy or sad. Its melodies are sung with a special vocalization method that can control the feelings of those who hear it. In terms of appearance, these two Pokemon forms have the same basic shape, resembling a feminine humanoid creature with what appears to be musical notes for arms and hands, with hair that resembles sheet music. The only real difference between these two is the colouring, with Aria having green hair and eyes, and Pirouette form having dark orange hair and eyes. In their shiny forms, both forms of Meloetta seemingly just dye their hair, with Aria taking on turquoise and Pirouette going pink. Now let's have a look at their typing, weaknesses and resistances. First up is Meloetta Aria, who is a dual type Psychic and Normal type Pokemon, making it weak to Bug and Dark type moves, whilst resisting Psychic type attacks and being completely immune to Ghost type moves. As for Meloetta Pirouette, it's a dual Fighting and Normal type Pokemon. This form of Meloetta is weak to Fighting, Flying, Psychic and Fairy type moves, resists Rock, Bug and Dark type attacks, and again is totally immune to Ghost type moves. Now we'll take a look at the stats and abilities of these Pokemon forms. Meloetta Aria is incredibly bulky when it comes to special moves, boasting a great HP stat with fantastic special defense, as well as equally fantastic special attack, along with a decent speed stat which gives it a great chance to deal out some punishment. Its attack and defense, however, have something to be desired. As for Meloetta Pirouette, it has the same stat distributions as Aria, just in a different arrangement. Get it? Arrangement. This time its most impressive stats are its speed and attack, which are a deadly combination, with its physical defense taking up the decent stat and its special attack and special defense becoming the lackluster stats, creating a whole new monster out of Meloetta. Both these Pokemon share the same single ability, and that's Serene Grace, which doubles the chance of moves with added effects actually inflicting those effects. And of course with Meloetta particularly, that gives an extra chance for Relic Song to put an opponent to sleep. Now it's time for me to decide which of these two musical Pokemon I prefer, and to be honest, I'm leaning towards Aria, mainly because it's the form you see most often since it always starts the battle in that form. There are people that like to quickly use Relic Song as soon as possible and switch it up into Pirouette form and then use Meloetta that way, but honestly I prefer Aria mainly because it looks cooler. I don't know, maybe I prefer that hairstyle, I don't really get it, but also because I prefer it to be a special attacker, although the kind of hindrance there is Relic Song is a special attack, but if I use it I'm going to change to Pirouette form. It's not really, if you're using Relic Song in battle, you don't really have a choice about which Meloetta you use, because if you use Relic Song, it's going to change to Pirouette form. But if you want to use Aria form, you can't really use Relic Song because it would change it to Pirouette and then you'll have to use it again to change back or switch out. It's just overly complicated. So I'm going to stick with Aria for my pick, but of course it's not up to me, it's up to you guys as well. But before you decide which of these you prefer, it's time for us to have a Metronome battle so we can see these two on the battlefield. Of course, before we start, I will point out these Pokemon have max IVs in all stats, 0 EVs in all stats, they're not holding any items, they obviously all have the same ability, Serene Grace. They all have serious natures, so this has no effect on their stats. The only differences that would give any advantage or disadvantage between these Pokemon are their base stats and their typing. Everything else is up to the Metronome. Let's go. Here we go, it's Meloetta versus Meloetta. It's Aria versus Pirouette in what offers to be the most melodic of the form fights so far. Of course, Meloetta being the melody Pokemon. Everybody's on the battlefield and we're getting ready to start things off. Of course, Pirouette will start things off because, of course, it's the faster of the two Pokemon forms. Here we see a Future Sight that will hit in a few turns, but on the Psychic type Aria, it's not going to do very effective damage. Here we see the shiny Pirouette. What will that do to open up? Toxic Spikes, which unfortunately is completely useless in these battles where nobody will be switching in or switching out. How will Aria respond? It's going to be interesting to see. Shiny Aria goes for Telekinesis. So all moves used on Shiny Pirouette for 3 turns is going to be guaranteed to hit, unless it's a one-hit KO move, and also no ground-type moves will affect it for those 3 turns as well. We see Fairy Lock from the regular Aria, of course. No one can run away next turn. No one can run away anyway. There's no switching out in these battles, but heck, it's a pretty move, isn't it? It's one of the most beautiful moves, I think. Here we see Slash. That is going to have same type attack bonus behind it. Deals effective damage on regular Aria. The first little bit of damage we've seen. Here's a wake-up slap. That's also a stab move from Pirouette. So regular Aria really taking some hits there. Regular Aria, how will you respond to this? Acrobatics, that is super effective on the fighting type Pirouette. And of course, no items, so the power is doubled. That did almost, I think that's more than a third of its damage, almost half damage. We see Electro Web, which is going to affect both forms of Aria for a Pirouette, I should say, for a tiny bit of damage, and is going to lower each of their speed as well. It'd be interesting to see if that speed creates an advantage for the Aria team, who are moving first this turn now, so the speed may have been curbed. We see Ice Ball, that's going to get progressively more terrifying over the next 5 turns. Well, the next 4 more turns, because we've had turn 1. Here's Extreme Speed, which will be same type attack bonus on Pirouette, almost taking it down. It's not looking good for regular Pirouette. How will Shiny Pirouette respond? Vital Throw, that's going to hit Shiny Aria for a decent amount of damage. I'd say about a third of its HP there. And here's regular Pirouette with Poison Sting. Not massively effective and doesn't get the poison either. There's that Future Sight attack from turn 1. As I said, not very effective, even though it was a critical hit. The Telekinesis has worn off, so Pirouette can be hit by ground type moves again. Here is the second turn of Ice Ball, taking down regular Pirouette. We're down to just 1 Pirouette versus 2 Aria at this point, and that Ice Ball needs to be curbed or it's going to be the deciding factor. We see Rest from regular Aria, going to restore all of its HP and take a sleep for 2 turns. This might be the opening that Pirouette needs, but it needs to avoid that Ice Ball somehow, some way, because that Ice Ball is going to continue to get stronger and stronger. How is Pirouette going to respond? It's going to go double team, raise its evasion. That could be the difference maker, because that could stop that Ice Ball from hitting. Pirouette really needs to pull something out at this point. It's still almost at full HP, so it's not doing too bad, but there's the Ice Ball. It's just above half HP at the moment. It's not looking good for Pirouette, but if it can just avoid one of those Ice Balls, one of these turns, it may have a chance to claw things back. We see Glare coming out, which is going to inflict paralysis on Shiny Aria, I should say. That could also affect the chance of Ice Ball hitting, so that's a good strategy. We see that regular Aria is still asleep, and here comes Pirouette once again with Razor Wind. That's a 2-turn attack. Is it going to be enough, though? When it does hit, it will hit both Pokemon, though. We see Ice Ball is still going to hit, and it hits Pirouette, oh, for massive damage as well. If Ice Ball hits next turn, this battle is over. Here comes Aria. What's it going to do? Power Split. It's going to swap its power with, well, not swap it. It's going to share its power with its target, I should say, who's going to use Razor Wind. Is it going to? It's not going to be enough to take down these Pokemon, but it does avoid the Ice Ball. The Ice Ball risk is over. Here comes Aria, regular Aria. What's it going to do? Going to go for Dizzy Punch. That does have stab behind it, and that's enough to take down Pirouette. Aria, from the get-go, they've just absolutely floored it this battle. That has been fantastic. Well done to the Aria team, my word. So you've heard what I've got to say, you've seen these Pokemon on the battlefield, but now it's up to you guys. Which of the Melody Pokemon's forms do you prefer? Aria or Pirouette? Let me know in the comments and explain to everybody why your pick is the absolute best. If you enjoyed the video, of course hit the like button and follow me on Twitter so you never miss any of my updates, and of course come and hang out on one of my Twitch streams. I'd love to see you there. If you do want to support the channel for as little as $1 a month, you can do so via Patreon. The links to everything you need are in the description below, and of course subscribe so you never miss a video from me. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.